All right, welcome back, Code Monsters. We are here to take Mike's submission of this construction website from presumably one of his esteemed family members and turn it into a modern web app that we could be proud of. Not that this isn't something to be proud of, this is great, but we want to make it such that it will still be great in 5 years from now. So we have this so far. We have a pretty standard React setup. We added a background image in our CSS, and what we have to do to complete the home page is get this GIF up and ready. And please, we've already been over this. Let's not have the how it's pronounced debate. I don't care. Um, anyway, so we have this picture here, which is just a placeholder, and we don't want it. Now, we could, if we want, we don't want to do this, but we could, and we'll do it just for demonstration purposes. If we're in our, where are we actually? Layout? Layout, no, not layout. If we're home, which is the component that contains kind of what goes in here. If you remember, we put the title and the nav bar in the layout component because it's going to show up on every page. If we're home, let's get this looking a little better. We could, instead of this image, we could replace it with the GIF from this project. So let's just show you real quick what that would look like. And actually, don't know what the name is. Hold on a sec. Time-lapse 2. Where is time-lapse 2? Website? Could it be? I don't know. I don't think it's that. Oh, there it is. Timelapse2.gif. If we were to take this and we were to put it into our project, nested under client assets images here, we could, of course, include it like this. And more or less have, oh, it's not a JPEG, it's a GIF. And more or less have it complete. What happened? Didn't like it. Oh, okay, so you might get this. This is a module parse failed thing. So this is a good thing to talk about Webpack. So if you go to the Webpack folder, just a quick 101 about Webpack. This is like a directions file that tells your application how to handle all of the different types of files that'll be in your project. And there is a crap ton of stuff to look at in a Webpack config that are, and it's all important. I know it sucks. Everything in here is important. And I hate saying that because when I was first looking at this, it was terrible. But if you look at it piece by piece, you'll eventually get there. So for now, let's just look at where it says module and then rules. You'll see it has these test things like test JS, test SCSS. Eventually, we're going to find test JPEG, PNG, and it's going to use this type of loader. A loader is just like a bit of code that knows how to load a file. Obviously, this is only handling JPEG and PNG. We also want it to handle GIF, so let's put a pipe GIF in here and see what happens. I've actually never tried this on a GIF before, so I have no clue if it'll work, but I think it'll probably work. Because think about what's happening. You're telling it to load a GIF, but it's looking in its configs here for something that knows how to do it, and failing, can't find it. Of course, there's a plugin you could give to Webpack. That'll be a default one, but, you know, that'd be convenient. Anyway, sure enough, that did in fact fix it. So let's get rid of this title. That's web. We're gonna look a lot more at Webpack later. We're just not gonna do it now. That's cool. Let's we can leave this stuff here for now. We'll get this into a separate file. Actually, let's just do it right now. Let's import styles from home.scss. Let's do our class names thing too. Class names. What is a nam? Class names. Nams. Okay. don't know what this is, but we're going to copy it and paste it here. And we'll get the requisite stuff dot header dot image. All right, this is lots of fun. I know you're having a blast. This is why people do this full time. It's because it takes 27 minutes to write a freaking CSS file. Okay. Oh, we broke everything. That's good. Class name, content, styles.image. What did it say? Margin left auto? What happened? This is supposed to be a CSS file. It is a CSS file. What are you complaining about? Oh, it needs semicolons because... So what it was written as before was like... I don't even know what it was. I honestly don't know why they do that. It's because they don't... I can't even explain it. I have no idea why they had the styles in here written as they were. It's absolutely insane. Alright, but sure enough, we did manage to do something. It appears that it is not centered. I might have lied about that, clearly. What is this? Image source. The image. Oh, style. So weird. Yeah, that's really annoying. I have no idea why they did that. Okay, all this work to get a simple image centered on the page. Hurrah! We have done it. Let's move it down a little too. Margin top 20. Should we be fancy about it? Alright, let's be fancy about it. Let's get it the same distance. Just to be fancy. So that's 28.8. And this has padding of 20, so like 50. Let's just say 50 for now. And we'll give it a bottom of 52. Look how fancy we are. Okay, anyway, so before we get too out of control. So this image is great, but notice how we did this. What we did is it's a static image, right? So pretend that you're deploying this code for a second, and your boss walks into your office after you deploy it, or the little fairy that tells you what image that you need to have on the website hovers onto your shoulder again right after you deploy, and is like, I want a different picture. Well, that is a little bit tricky. Because now your picture is tied to your code, and to fix it, you'd have to redeploy. So that's one potential issue. But there are other issues that arise in image management too. For example, if you go to your inspect panel and you look at the network here, and click image. So this picture itself is almost an entire meg. That's a pretty big picture when you think about it. And actually, if you look down here, this says that 103 megabytes have been transferred for this one project, which, again, when you think about it, is absolutely insane. It is the GIF. The GIF itself is 100 megabytes. So it's huge. That is a huge picture. If you're accessing this on a desktop, it's not too big of a deal, but on a phone, it's quite a big deal. Cloudinary is a service that fixes all these problems for you in a fantastic way. You should use Cloudinary. Everybody should use Cloudinary for their pictures, and on this channel, we're going to always use Cloudinary for our pictures, and you'll learn to love it. Go sign up, pause and go sign up, and then when you do, you'll be here. And we're going to upload this GIF to Cloudinary, because we're going to use it here. Where is it? Time-lapse 2. Man, it's a huge picture, 104 megs. Alright, so we'll wait for it to upload for 27 minutes. I'll give you the quick tutorial. So you can go check out how all the different things you can do with Cloudinary, but basically, instead of having a static URL like this for your pictures, you can do something along the lines of this. My stuff.upload.picture.jpg. So you have a, oh, look at that, the file sizes. We can't even use this one because it's too big. That's how terrible it is. Great. Wow. Let's see if the other one is smaller, I guess. I could just Photoshop it real quick. If the other one is not small enough, I'll just do it. The other one is bigger. That's wonderful. Okay, I am going to pause real quick and Photoshop it down. Hold on. More effort than it needed to be, but we finally reduced the file size of this incredibly large GIF. That was annoying, but anyway. So we should be able to upload it to Cloudinary now, unless it yells at us. It didn't yell at us. Look at that. Okay, so how do we get this off of here? If you click Open Link in New Tab, I mean, you don't click Open Link in New Tab. You can just open it in this tab. You'll see a lot of stuff that you can do right in the window to this picture. You can change its width, you can change its height, you can change the scale mode, all these things. Now, it's a like an in-browser way of managing your images, but you can actually do all this stuff through the URL. If you notice in the URL over here, see where it says see scale width 1280? If you change this, that'll actually change the URL too. So in essence, you can perform all of these operations just through code, just through by feeding it different image transform parameters. And that's super just incredible. We might use that for this project later, we might not, but it's basically the reason why you should use this tool. It's just insane. But for us, what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this link because that's where our picture is. We'll go back to our code. I'm just going to paste it in here so we can see it. And inspect the link real quick. You can see it's a pretty standard base, res cloudinary.com, your account ID /image/upload, then you put your transform parameters, then this, then the image name. So what we should do is we should configure this. We should actually configure like the base path here so that we could encode like do this part and then modify what goes in here and then the rest of it. We'll do that later. For now, we'll just copy the picture as it is. And I'm actually not going to import anything. We don't need to do that. And we can just write in the source here, paste. We should use our property spread here just for pretty purposes. All right. And we get something downloading. Is it? What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? I feel like it's not working. Maybe they can't handle GIFs. That's the image. Oh, it finally worked. It just took forever. 9 megs, that's huge. Yeah, this thing's not really meant to do GIFs, unfortunately. Let's just see what happens here. Oh, I guess it's okay. Maybe it was just my computer hiccuping or something. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Okay, so that's a good example of how to use Cloudinary and how to not use Cloudinary. I think it's probably fine for GIFs. This one just happened to be massive, so it took us forever to crop it down and stuff, but it's fine. So that's kind of the homepage here. That was kind of what we had. Looks like we need a border on it, which we can do pretty quickly in CSS. I suppose. We could say div class name cx image wrap. So we could do this. Go over here. This will be the image wrap. This is going to have a padding 20, and we'll make the background white. Right, so we can just do some pretty simple CSS here. Nothing crazy. Then we'll just say the image inside of it is going to be 100%. That should probably get us pretty close, yeah. Of course, still a little bit too wide, so maybe we could say width 800. Yeah. All right, so that's pretty good. So we got the border on there too. Anyway, so let's look at what we have to do next. So the About page, pretty straightforward. We could do some little CSS things for the grid. We'll definitely be jumping back into this. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll figure out a way to manage these pictures. And when Mike sent me his submission, he asked if we could have like clickable categories here. So we're going to be thinking about that next. But now that we have a good tool for managing the images themselves, we can think about how we're going to, create the photo gallery. And there's all sorts of fun stuff we can do. So until then, see you later. Bye.